As we mentioned earlier when we talked about the types of router bits, there are several bits that use bearings to reference the edge of a piece. These bearings make it extremely easy to get consistent and perfect results from your bits. However, there are two things that you need to keep in mind when using these bearings. First is proper positioning for flush trim and template bits.
You want the bearings to ride perfectly along your template or other surfaces, but you don't want to risk cutting into those surfaces. So only set the position of the bearing so that it is as close as possible to the surface you intend to cut.
The last thing you want to do is to shave off part of your template. But I thought the bearing and bits were exactly the same size. So why would it cut into my template? There are two possible reasons this could happen. The first is just manufacturing error.
They may not be exactly the same size. However, this is more common when using cheap bits.
The second possible reason is an incorrect technique, which brings us back to the second thing you need to keep in mind when using bearings. Don't push so hard.
You want to hold the bearing against the side of your piece, but this should be a gentle motion. If you press too hard, you'll actually cause deflection in the shaft of your router bit, and you'll end up with a bad cut.
Let the router bit do the work. You're just there to guide it. Also, be sure to keep your router base flat on the surface of your piece.
You don't want to let the router tip, or it'll mess up your cut. If you have two handles, it's good practice to keep one over the surface of the wood and pushing down, while you use the other to guide the router around. Many trim routers have a place by the base for you to put your fingers. Then you can rest your hand on the piece and apply downward pressure to prevent tipping as you work your way around the piece.